What's good, everyone? This your main correspondent, Alan Taylor, and I'm back in the broadcast room yet again, always with another one. And yes, indeed, it is another one. So you see the title of the broadcast. And yes, this is the deal here. We all heard this, the sermon that this lady gave to Donald Trump and his colleagues and things like that at the church. And a lot of people some people were in favor, some people were not, things like that, of what she had to say. And but the thing of this is, come to find out, this lady's been out here receiving funds to actually protect the illegals out here. So I mean,
So what the French toast is going to think about?
So okay, we're about to go here now. We're about to check this out. So first of all, we're going to go here first and recap on what she had to say. Let's go here now.
Mr. President, millions have put their trust in.
Hold on a second. My bad.
In you. And as you told the nation yesterday, you have felt the providential hand of a loving God. In the name of our God, I ask you to have mercy upon the people in our country who are scared now. There are gay, lesbian, and transgender children in Democratic, Republican, and independent families, some who fear for their lives. And the people who pick our crops and clean our office buildings, who labor in poultry farms and meat packing plants, who wash the dishes after we eat in restaurants and work the night shifts in hospitals, they may not be citizens or have the proper documentation. But the vast majority of immigrants are not criminals. They pay taxes and are good neighbors. I ask you to have mercy, Mr. President, on those in our communities whose children fear that their parents will be taken away, and that you help those who are fleeing war zones and persecution in their own lands to find compassion and welcome here. Our God teaches us that we are to be merciful to the stranger, for we were all once strangers in this land.
Okay, so now here's the issue, you know what I'm saying, and here's the point. The thing of this is that if she has been taking set money to, you know what I'm saying, provide for the illegals, and then you want to sit there and say that these illegals are paying taxes out here, that's impossible for an illegal to pay taxes because they're not in the system. They can't pay taxes. They don't have a social security number here. They don't have anything that's going to link them to our tax system like natural born American citizens do. And this is the problem right here. Now, listen, look, I get it. Don't get me wrong. I grew up in the church. I'm a preacher's kid. I've said that multiple times throughout my broadcast on my channel. But I definitely understand we also have to abide by the laws of the land that we also vote for. We also put these people in places to, make sure that we, have order and system in our country. And this is the problem here. When we are going against the laws that we as American citizens, natural born American citizens, create for not only for ourselves, but for others, but for others that are coming into our land, we need to actually enforce the laws for everybody, natural born citizens or not. And these are just the facts. So, okay, we're going to keep going here and we're going to dive because, come to find out, this 53 million is something serious here. Let's go here now. We got Sky News in the broadcast room. Let's go here now. Quarters, nickels, and dimes, people.
Speaking of charity, beginning at home, remember when Donald Trump, after his inauguration, went to a national prayer service at an Episcopalian church and the bishop, Mariann, gave him this treatment?
The people who pick our crops and clean our office buildings, who labor in poultry farms and meatpacking plants, who wash the dishes after we eat in restaurants and work the night shifts in hospitals, they may not be citizens or have the proper documentation. But the vast majority of immigrants are not criminals.
Yes, remember, and the faces of Trump and Melania and J.D. Vance as they listen to all this go on, and she goes on about how transgender people are fearing for their lives now in Trump's America, was all quite odd. And you'll remember that Trump responded afterwards. He said the so-called bishop who spoke at the National Prayer Service on Tuesday morning was a radical left hardline Trump hater. She brought her church into the world of politics in a very ungracious way. She was nasty in tone and not compelling or smart. She failed to mention the large number of illegal immigrants that came into our country and killed people. Many were deposited from jails and mental institutions. It is a giant crime wave that is taking place in the USA. Apart from her inappropriate statements, the service was a very boring and uninspiring one. She is not very good at her job. She and her church owe the public an apology. Well, they certainly...
Now, listen, look. At this point...
So what the French toast is there to think about?
You know, at this point, it is what it is on that fact. But all I'm saying is, too, is that, you know what I'm saying, I thought it was a separation of church and state. Now, I get it even throughout this past election, we've had other churches that, you know, y'all remember when Kamala was invited to the church in Atlanta, Bishop, I can't think of his name right now, but, you know, he had Kamala Harris all up in the pulpit, which, you know, be honest with you, nobody should stand behind the pulpit except for the leader of the church. Nobody, not the first lady, not the, you know, deacons, nobody's. It's supposed to be a separate speaking podium in the church. You know, so this is how I grew up in the church. Like I said, preacher's kid, you know what I'm saying? This is how I grew up in the church, things like that. Nobody's allowed behind the pulpit except for the pastor and things like that. But listen, look. We can't sit here and deny these facts and things like that. Now, if she's taking this type of money right here, we're going to dive and we're going to see what's going on. So let's keep going a little bit, okay?
Certainly owe the public an apology, but I think they also owe the public a fair deal of thanks, because we now know why she went so hard on Donald Trump in that sermon. It's because her church made $53 million out of the Biden administration to resettle migrants in America under programs that Trump has now paused. So this wasn't her genuinely standing there saying, I'm so worried about the state of the world and I'm saying this because I'm a Christian. I'm saying this because it lines the pockets of my church. And of course,
what is your damaged muscle head? You stupid? You ignorant? Or you just plain old deaf?
Wow. Hey, listen, look, and that's money that's untaxable. When a church gets money, it's not being taxed now. Let's just keep this real out here. $53 million untaxable.
No point did she mention the fact that they got this $53 million to resettle 3,600 refugees in America last year. Sorry, that was 2023. Last year, they had 6,400 people that they resettled in America, pocketing all this money through another arm they call the Episcopal Migration Ministry. Isn't it convenient, isn't it? The man walks in who's decided to cut off the flow of money because you're just making shed loads by getting a bunch of people to come over to America. I mean, that's a lot of money, $53 million for, you know, a few thousand people. That's not a...
Right. Listen, look, pay attention to this. 53 million, like he said, for a few thousand people. All that 53 million didn't go where it was supposed to go. That's 53 million damn dollars. Let's just keep this honest out here now. I've known things about the church and stuff like that, you know, good things and bad things. But this is just where we at right here. That's $53 million. You think all that $53 million, you know what I'm saying, went where it was supposed to go? Hold on.
You, Al Bundy, are a pig.
Yeah, I know.
Repeat, a pig.
Shut up! See, I don't give a rat's ass what you think.
And I don't.
a bad racket. He turns the tap off, and all of a sudden, oh, she's so worried about these migrants and these transgender people who are fearing for their lives. No, she was worried about the bottom line.
I don't know if you should be too critical, Caleb. I mean, Jesus said you can't serve God and money, but the bishop is going to give it a shot anyway.
Wow. Hey, the bishop gonna give it a shot anyway. Listen, look, man. And see, you know what I'm saying? What a lot of people are not understanding is out here, everybody's being used as pawns. I don't care, gay, straight, whatever, you know, everybody's being used as pawns out here. Like I always say, follow the damn money, follow the dollars, follow the money, and you will find out the truth.
So the fact is they get this $53 million. This is not for providing anything for these refugees. This is simply connecting refugees with service providers.
Oh, my God.
So it's a pretty great job. And the American government, they pay for the airfares for these refugees to arrive in the US. If these refugees end up paying back the government the cost of the airfares, the Episcopalian Church gets 25% of the airfares as a bonus for helping these people settle well. So clearly this bishop had a massive conflict of interest, which was not shared from the pulpit. If the church want to help the poor, then the church should help the poor and foot the bill themselves.
Right. Because the church gets subsidies and things like that already from the government. Tax-free things. Every church does, all across America. Churches are not taxed. So they have programs and stuff like that that they are signed up for, things like that they get money, you know, and subsidies and things like that. Listen, look, man, this is wild right here. Yes, a church is supposed to help people. That was the whole purpose of a church in the congregation. Was to pull resources and like-minded people together to come together to help the ill, sick, the people that were searching for spiritual guidance and things like that. It was not meant for what's going on today. The church is something totally different. I'm telling you now, it just is what it is. But this is where we at right here. So apparently hidden agendas are always in the background here. And this is where we at. Hidden agendas. Follow the money.
But you can't be claiming to be the church helping the poor when you're expecting the taxpayer to put the hand in their pocket and do it. Anyway, this bishop has clearly ruined the Episcopalian Church, and now she's trying to ruin the country.
But when you consider they got $53 million to settle 3,600, and like you say, not actually settle them, just connect them with the organisations who will settle them.
Yeah.
And the article says we don't know the figure for last year. That is 2023's figure. We don't know the 2024 figure, but they settled almost double the people last year. So you can imagine we're probably talking in the vicinity of well over $100 million last year. So
wow, hold on.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
Yes, think about it. Think about it. If they're okay, let's just say they are getting 53 million a year for you know, say as long as this immigration system been going on. It's been 4 years now. Remember, it was almost 4 years that the Biden administration was bringing these people in, CBP program, things like that. Some were crossing the border illegally, getting settled in. Other programs that were going on to, you know, stabilize these illegals. I did the previous video, the previous broadcast, where the young lady in California who was a Mexican American said that these people were getting, you know, certain subsidies from for Verizon and all these, you know, phones and things like that, you know, healthcare for free, where we're paying for healthcare over here. This is, you know, it's wild out here. It's wild. And I guarantee you all that $53 million did not go to settle these few thousand people.
she is seeing a lot of shiggy walk out the door, and she's very unhappy about it. But what she thought she was going to achieve by berating a brand new president, which got overwhelmingly the popular vote, this guy is Mr. Everyone wanted him. Okay, there's no denying that. And she thought instead of uniting Americans, who a lot of them are Bible believers and would have tuned in and been like, yes, this is the national prayer service, instead of uniting Americans and getting a powerful message that everyone could get behind, she basically picked out the entire Trump campaign's main bastions of what they'd campaigned on and begged him not to do it. All the LGBTIQ stuff as well as the refugee stuff. I mean, talk about screaming into a pillow.
I mean, who would have thought that bullying Donald Trump is not the best way to get the man to change his mind? Like, I'm not sure she has much political smarts this.
Listen, look, my stance on this situation is, everybody's being played. Gay, straight, it don't fucking matter. Everybody being played out here. It's about the money.
What the French toast is there to think about?
Everybody getting played. You can put these programs in place, these ideologies and all this other type of stuff. It all breaks down to the dollar. Everybody getting played. And these are just the facts. Now, you know what I'm saying? 53 million. I'm guessing the 53 million was per year. So that's a lot of money. Like the woman on the broadcast here just said, 53 million just last year, then a year prior, and they only settled 3,800 people, out of $53 million. Man, come on now. They probably took $1.25 million and dealt with them 3,500 people out of 53 million. Man, it's all about the money. We all caught up in these mind frames of, you're this gender, you're that, you're this and that, woo to woo, and you're this skin color, and you know what I'm saying, you're racist and all this. We all caught up in this fictismal, imaginary thought process out here, and all these people out here are getting rich.
And what the French toast is there to think about?
Real talk. But it is what it is, though. Shout out to all my subscribers. Mad love to y'all. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Make sure you ring that bell to be notified whenever I decide to post things. And like I always say,
and that, my friends, is the bottom line.
That, my friends, is the bottom line.